colleague, and I'm truly. Thank you. Chair of our Board of Trustees, as well as the head of Sabancı Corporation.
What a great pleasure and honor meeting you. Welcome to our university.
Delighted to be here. Such a beautiful campus.
And the president.
And our president. And we are due this great honor due to the efforts of... Dear colleagues, students, staff, alumni, friends of Sabancı, I'm very deeply honored today to be welcoming Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Grameen Bank founder, Professor Mohammed Yunus to our university. Professor Yunus is referred to as the banker to the poor, and certainly Grameen Bank and the notion of microloans, affordable loans to the poor, has been a revolution in the world of finance. But his impact reaches far beyond the world of finance and far beyond the notion of microloans. Today, we are increasingly talking about the notion of social business, that businesses have a role and a responsibility beyond the bottom line, and in fact, that companies can be social businesses, as Yunus defines, as non-loss, non-dividend companies designed to address a social objective within the marketplace. This is distinct from a nonprofit because the business should seek to generate a modest profit, but this will be used to expand the company's reach, improve the product or service, or in other ways to subsidize the social mission. We know that Professor Yunus was here with a very busy schedule, but Zahar called me and said he has to come to Sabancı University, and we made it happen. I also want to thank all of you, having only heard about this yesterday, to be here, and good for you, and so thank you. I would now like to ask all of you to join me in welcoming Professor Yunus to the podium to give his talk entitled Economic Turmoil and the Importance of Social Business. Welcome, Professor Yunus.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm delighted to be here. It's a great privilege to be here and talking to you. As explained, I was in the middle of a conference, and still I thought it's a good opportunity for me to kind of interact with the students of Sabancı University. So some of the things that mentioned about the work that I do, as was mentioned, I sometimes referred to as a banker to the poor. That means other bankers are not. So what are they? They are banker to the rich. That's the trouble. Not only people are banker to the rich, institutions which are built are institutions for the rich. By definition, they don't work with the bulk of the human beings on this planet. If you look at the banking system as a whole and ask yourself the question, how many people are reached by the financial system? You make a guess. Half? 1/3? 2/3? It's very small. If you're very generous, probably you'll say only 1/3 of the population of the world are reached by financial system as a global phenomenon. In many countries, it's much more than they only reach the top 10, 12, 15%. The rest are not there. So what kind of world we can have if financial system is so biased, so kind of skewed? And all the problems, or many of the problems, are generated because our institutions are not open to everybody. I was even thinking that if I were a Hollywood filmmaker, I'll be making a film on this issue, because I will think about aliens coming from the outside world and attacking this planet And the first thing they do, they come up with a mechanism by which all banks in the world become dysfunctional. And the story begins, what happens after that. Everything collapses, economy collapses, credit card doesn't work, your ATM machine doesn't work, your bank account doesn't work, transactions doesn't happen. So the whole economy collapses. It's a nightmare. And in that nightmare, something happens to the hero and the heroine and all this stuff. The sum and substance of this, the distance between impossible and possible is shrinking. The one that is impossible becoming possible every day. You're not noticing it. When you look back, you notice it. So if that is possible, all impossible can be possible, why don't we sit down and make a list of all the impossibles? And we make it possible. Don't wait for somebody else to make it possible, because somebody else's priority may be different than yours. So this is your opportunity. Make a list of all the impossible things you see in the world, but you want them to happen. You can make it happen. We can create a completely new human civilization where there will be nobody who will be called unemployed. It makes no sense why a full-blooded human being with enormous capacity inside remain unutilized, what we call unemployed. It's a shame that we have created a civilization where millions of people, billions of people have to suffer that. It doesn't make sense. Why anybody should be poor? It doesn't make sense. And I keep saying poverty should be in the museum, not in human society. We can create that civilization. That's the task that you have to perform. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Professor Yunus, we are grateful to you, really. As Professor Boyacıgil have said, you have put a serious brick to the foundation of our university today. It is what you're talking about, social business, but it is social change, and we thrive for it, and we are grateful to you. And I also understood that I've been in the business for 33 years, so you're not going to employ me.
I'll reconsider that. Thank you. You qualify now. Thank you.